Dear viewers, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you watch this channel. I'd like to start this session by appreciating you so much for supporting YOLENO TV. If you wish to support us, just hit the subscribe button and also give this video a like. After a lot of struggles, after back and forth demonstrations in the streets, Raila Amolo Odinga could be heading at a point where by now the issue of CAMARGO server will have to be addressed. With the looming defections from the UDA team, it is evident that it will reach a time where Raila Amolo Odinga will just have to have his plan achieved. And what is the plan? The plan is to have a thorough audit on these servers. Soon after people like Seth Panyako have resigned, and I know there are so many people who are following suit, I saw Kivuta Kibwana with Kalonzo Musyoka. I also saw in that meeting of the Yatta Declaration, I saw Wavinya Ndeti, who was initially angling towards defecting to UDA, came back to that meeting attended by Raila Amolo Odinga, but hosted by Kalonzo Musyoka. After seeing all this, it is pretty clear that the people are with Raila Amolo Odinga. No doubt about that. After also seeing the meeting of Embu County, where governors, very influential governors, very important governors of the UDA team, skipped that meeting. The people like Susan Kihika, I could only tell that there is trouble in paradise. So we are approaching a time where by now this issue of server will be addressed. I want to give you an example of what Seth Panyako has done. What Seth Panyako has done, and consider the fact that Seth Panyako is a leader of the nurses, of Kenya Nurses Union, a very influential person. And now in Kenya, there are so many nurses to an extent that you can't even count them. The number of nurses here in Kenya ni nyingi. So if you look at a person of that caliber who managed to convince the nurses that, look here, Ruto is the camp that we need to be in. So if they ended up voting for him, if they didn't vote for him, either way, but he managed to talk to the nurses and that showed them the direction. At that time, he was meant to understand that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was the bad one. But the truth has come out clear, like he said in his previous speech, that walidanganywa, and now because walidanganywa, it is high time that they tell the Kenyans the truth. And he also said in that press briefing that the Ruto is not the kind of person he knew when he was deputy. When he was deputy, it was a different Ruto, but now it is a different Ruto. So that, according to me, if I am to translate that statement, I can say that maybe, not even maybe, but Ruto is not delivering things that were promised to Kenyans, and that explains it all. It explains what the people within UDA are now going through. A person like Seth Panyako couldn't have just resigned from the position of UDA programs just like that. There could have been something that he saw. Maybe what he saw is what Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta saw. So that explains that maybe, going forward, Seth Panyako will share some things with Raila Amolo Odinga. And what is one of the things that Seth Panyako will share with Raila Amolo Odinga? One, the issue of server. That is very, very critical for Raila Amolo Odinga and for his 2027 presidential ambition, which is going to be the last presidential job. And I think in that 2027 general election, ata ABC wafanye nini, ata Supreme Court wafanye nini, the bottom line here is that that win will not go to UDA. It will not go to UDA because it will be a landslide victory, one that you cannot do anything about. You can't even inflate votes. If you try to do that, it will expose what Kibaki did because Kibaki did inflated a huge chunk of votes to an extent that ilionyesha wazi kwamba hajashinda. That's why he ended up running to inaugurate himself. So if that is done in 2027, not going to be possible, because now the defections, the mass defections and the cries of the local mwananchi imeonyesha kwamba serikali haina namna, haina jinsi ya kudeliver kwa mwananchi, kwamba serikali hii ambition yake kubwa ni kuajiri wale ma CAS, kuajiri watu tu ovyo ovyo, kupatia wale ma campaigners kazi, more than 50 CSS given jobs, and then permanent secretaries katika jamii mbili, jamii moja imechukua nyingi. You know, those kind of things, when the people realize, inamaanisha kwamba the people are not happy. And that's why I'm saying a landslide victory this time round for Raila Amolo Odinga if he vies in 2027. But I think he's going to vie. Yeah, that's something I can assure you. And then you will hold me to account come 2027. Mungu akitujalia, Raila Amolo Odinga will be on the ballot. Martha Karua will be on the ballot as a deputy, because Martha Karua has shown ile ujasiri kwamba yeye ni mwanamke mjasiri. If you remember the DCI, wakati Maina Njenga alishikwa, Martha Karua aliingia DCI akapiga kelele. Woo! You saw that. I hope you saw that. That meant that huyu ni mwanamke shupavu mjasiri, and he was there to defend her people. So she successfully delivered the picketing message, which saw Maina Kajenga get released, and Raila Amolo Odinga was also there. I don't know, but you know, these things already point to a Martha Karua who is so strong to the point whereby Martha Karua anafaa kuwa deputy president in 2027 if that during that election. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to wind up there, and once again I'd like to urge you to stay safe and stay blessed until we catch up again in our next analysis.